I let everyone in. Anyone that indicates the tiniest bit, no matter how late, I'll be like, no worries. Like, I actually say it out loud. I'm like, no worries, come in. No worries, come through. You pick your battles. You can't fight every battle. If you're not safe for whatever reason, then sometimes it's not good to speak up. Welcome to the Asian Soup Podcast. This is your co-host Jules.
And this is your co-host Rox.
The Asian Soup Podcast is your cozy space on the internet where we share stories about one another.
We chat about a range of topics from personal growth, career, relationships, and much more.
Come sit with us
and get nourished. Welcome. Today. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hello all.
We're super cozy today.
Yeah, we're in our... Do you say... Okay, we're in our Oodies.
I say Oodie.
Am I saying it wrong? Maybe.
I don't know. It could be Oodie.
Oodie. Because it's hoodie and then it's
Oodie.
That's why you say Oodie.
I say Oodie. But Oodie makes sense too. If you're listening from the audio-only version of the podcast, Rox and I are wearing an Oodie each.
Yeah.
I just messaged Rox like an hour before we were recording and I just said, hey, do you have an Oodie?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't think you would have one actually.
And my partner was wearing one at the time because it's freezing right now. And he's like, shit, how does Julia know we have an Oodie?
I'm watching.
But yeah, my Oodie, I got it last year. So it's my second winter with it. It's pretty good. And mine's like a lilac purple clouds kind of thing. And I thought this was pretty. How about you?
Mine is pink and it has little corgis on it and the corgi is holding a bone.
So cute. But it's only holding a bone on some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah, so cute.
Shout out to all our corgi lovers. If you don't know, I think Oodie it's Australian, so I'm guessing
it's an Australian brand, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's an American version of it, but it's basically like a huge blanket that you can wear.
Yeah.
And it's got a little hood and a big kangaroo pocket at the front.
Kangaroo pocket. I love saying that. I haven't heard of that for so long.
It's so cute. It's like a little pouch. But it's so cozy. It is so cold right. It's so cold right now.
Like this is like a blanket. It's so cold in Sydney. Yeah.
How many degrees is it? I don't even
10.
know. Is it like 10 degrees Celsius? Do you know what that is in Fahrenheit?
No. It's cold, guys.
It's really cold. Yeah, it's like, and I think it's going to get even colder. Anyways, let's get straight into the topic.
Sure.
Speaking up.
Yes, not an easy thing to do. And there's always situations where you might go, oh, I wish I said that. Or I wish I said something or stood up for myself. Or someone I'm with, or someone that was being, hurt by someone else. I don't know. But how do we speak up more? And what do we think about speaking up? Or do we have any examples lately?
Yeah. Like I want to speak up when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
And what are those moments? And what does that look like to each person? Like for me lately, I think because, we're doing the podcast and everything.
Yeah.
I want to like speak up a little bit more for Asian people. As an example. Mm-hmm. So I think like those are the sort of moments that kind of matter to me. But what inspired this topic actually was when I was shopping for winter clothes the other week and I was standing in line for the change room and I was definitely next in line, right? And there was someone sort of next to me. It was like not a clear line. There was someone next to me and he definitely came after me, okay?
Definitely?
I'm so sure that I was next.
How sure?
Like I'm like 100%
sure. You sure you're first?
I was so sure that I was next.
Okay.
I know, because I was waiting for ages.
Okay, so it's facts.
Okay.
Okay.
And he was next to me and I was like, okay, cool. So the line's sort of forming to my left, right? Yeah. And then Rayudo, my boyfriend, he came and stood on my right and he was lining up to try something on as well.
And is it one of those lines, sorry, cut in, but
yeah.
Is it one of those lines at a store where there's no real line? Like there's no line, it's just a counter? Was there one or two counters?
It was exactly like that. There's no
two
line.
Or one?
One counter.
Okay, so that's pretty obvious. It's one counter. It's confusing when there's two because then maybe some people think they're lining up for the other one.
And there was like a table behind us. And so it was just this weird thing.
So it's kind of obvious. There's only one person serving. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. And I was definitely next. But then this guy starts like walking in front of me. And then I was like, okay, surely maybe he's just trying to give way to people behind him. So I sort of like did the whole, you know, ushered myself forward a little bit to like signal I think I'm next.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? I should just say something. What's the point of doing this passag, like shoulder move? And so I said, hey, are you next?
Yeah.
I said, are you next? And then he looked at me and he's like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, at that point I was like, okay, well, and then I just
think so.
He said,
I think so.
You think so? So it wasn't like yes. He said, I think so.
Okay.
And then I said, okay. And I let him go in front of me. And then
So
at that
bad.
point, I was kind of fuming. I was kind of mad at myself. I was like, why did I, like, how could I have said that better? And why does this always happen to me where I mean, I really wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? I wanted to hear what he thought. I wanted to hear if he really thought he was next in line, because then, you know, maybe that will help me understand, you know, what's going through his mind, right?
No, but then you knew you were first. So
I knew.
So you don't want to know what's going through his mind. You're just being too shy.
I'm being nice.
You're being too nice for no reason.
For no reason.
For no reason. And also, what did Rydo say?
Yeah. So he saw the whole thing roll out, right? And this guy goes in to get changed. And I was like, kind of like, oh, I was definitely first. Like, I was sort of like muttering under my breath. And I was like, did you see that? I was definitely next. And then he was like, why did you ask that?
Yeah.
Why did you ask that to him? And I was like, I don't know.
Oh, was it change room?
Yeah, change room.
Oh, change
Oh, yeah,
room.
sorry.
Okay,
We're
okay.
lining up
I
for
thought
the
it was
change
to
room.
pay.
No. This is
Right.
for the change room.
Okay, it still doesn't make it any better, but okay.
And that's
still
when
shit.
I wrote in my notes on my phone saying, speaking up, that's definitely something I want to talk about on this podcast. And I'm sure you have lots of stories like this as well. And I also wanted to hear what your thoughts are and what you think I could have said, you know?
I reckon if I was in that situation, ideally, right? Because we always think we would do it, but then we might not execute. I wouldn't ask a question. Like, I think sometimes you think by asking, they might say something else, or they might feel bad and be like, oh, no, I think you're first, or oh, were you here first? Then not everyone does that. I think that's what you were hoping it was.
Yeah.
And then you might seem nicer because you're asking them and you're giving them the choice, like, hey, I think, were you here first? Or are you next?
Yeah.
Then you're hoping that
Yeah.
he'd say, oh, shit, sorry. Oh, shit, sorry. Like, you know,
Yes.
to say sorry back to
Yes.
you.
I wanted that
You wanted
dance.
that. You
I
wanted-
wanted
oh.
that. Ooh.
Like the hands, like, oh, sorry.
You're exact.
Dude,
that's on
what
point.
you want. That's what
That
you
is
want.
what I wanted.
But you, not like 100%, you're not going to get it, dude. So it's more like, hey, I was here first. You can go after me, or do you know someone there? You're trying to like help them get a size or something, or
Okay,
I don't know, because the situation is change room, right? Are they trying to get something for their partner or their friend? You know, are they the runner? You know, to get the more sizes. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or if you know 100% they're alone, like that's annoying. If you know 100%, I'll be like, hey, I'm lining up here. The line's here.
No, I think also what was happening was he had another person, like his partner, but she was definitely behind me. So I think he got confused, like, because he took over her spot.
But
So
she was still behind you.
Yeah, she was behind me.
So what the fuck?
But then he said, I think so. And I was just like, what? Okay, so can we replay that? Wait, did you want to add something?
Yeah, replay.
Replay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are me. I'm the guy, okay?
You're the guy.
I'm like, doot, push in.
Hey, excuse me.
Yep.
I think I'm next. Are you? The line's here. So, yeah, sorry, the line's here. I shouldn't even say sorry, but I'll say it because That's kind of nice,
Okay.
right?
So what if he says, because he said, I think so.
But he didn't.
But what if he said, no, I think I'm next.
But there's a line right behind me.
No, the line goes this way.
I literally was standing here first. I was standing here. I watched you come next to me. Like, maybe there's cameras here so we could, like, replay.
Really? Would you say
Oh,
that?
fuck off.
Wow.
I don't know. So annoying.
You're good.
No, I'm not. But that's really annoying. Like, that's what I would say
Are you getting
inside.
angry?
Yeah, I'm getting heated. Like, in
going
this
red.
Oodie. Like, I'm like, fuck off.
I'm getting hot as well.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Does someone work this area? Because this is fucked. I'll just, if he says that, then I'll just leave my stuff there and get out of the store.
Wow.
I'd be like, whatever, dude. And then go. I'll leave. Also, it's a guy.
Yeah.
What a dick. I'm so angry.
I wish you were there with me.
But he has a girlfriend. Like, that's such a dick move.
Yeah.
Imagine being the girlfriend and seeing your boyfriend do that. Who am I dating? Who are you dating, dude? You should, if you're listening and you were shopping at this store, Carhartt, on this day,
galleries.
and you're dating this dick dude, like,
No, I think.
good luck.
Okay, so you know when you're about to speak up, right?
Yeah.
You suss him out too. You're like, okay,
Did he look like a nice person?
he looked like someone I could, hang out with. That's why I was like, hey, like I wanted to hear what he thought, right? But he didn't give me the answer I wanted to hear. Couldn't do the dance.
Yeah.
Wow, you're good. Like
I do the dance.
Yeah.
I'll do the dance because sometimes I feel bad that I didn't know. But not everyone will give you the dance. People are crazy.
You
It's
know
a
what?
dog eat dog world.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm actually surprised
Really?
that you're more like outspoken in that kind of situation than I thought.
No, but this is just role play. Like in reality, I might be a bitch too. Like I might be like a pushover as well. In reality, I feel like I'm always a pushover.
Are we talking about public situations here?
It depends on the situation and depends on that day how I'm feeling. Like if I'm not in a rush as well,
Yeah.
I'm like whatever. But if it was like that and it's not like they were an old person or, mother of 2 kids, like dragging their kids around trying to get something, I might let them through and be like, call it, like whatever.
Okay, speaking of cutting into lines,
Yeah.
what about when you're driving and someone's like,
Oh, okay. I'm like a really shit driver these days. I will admit, because I feel like I used to drive a really shit car, so I didn't care as much. But this car we have now is like kind of new, and I feel like, oh, I don't want to
brand new
scratch it.
car.
Yeah, it's a brand new car, so I'm like a bit more careful. And I feel like Sydney roads have gotten a bit more crazy as well. So, but it's the same as driving. You need to be assertive. You need to go for it. Sometimes I let people through. It's really bad. I don't know. But if anyone cuts the line like physically, like at a store or at the restaurant, or I'm lining up to pay or something, then I'll definitely tell them to line up. I'll be like, hey, the line's there. I'm next. Because, I don't know, lines just annoy me. But if it's driving, then I'll probably be a pussy, basically.
because one thing that I do when I'm driving, I let everyone in.
That's me. I let everyone in to the point where I miss a light or something. I will just wait till everyone's gone.
Yeah.
I'd rather be safe. That's my thing right now.
I let everyone in. Anyone that indicates the tiniest bit, no matter how late, I'll be like, no worries. Like I actually say it out loud. I'm like, no worries, come in. No worries, come through.
Okay, I think maybe you need to stop that too. Maybe we need to stop that too.
Why? But isn't it nice letting people in?
Yeah, but also sometimes it's not safe. Because sometimes I slow down to let them in, or I'll just indicate for ages and not go. Oh, I don't know. I'm just like, sometimes it's safer to go faster.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or go to the next lane?
Yeah. I do that too. But so when the timing is right,
Just go.
I always say, yep, come through, come in. Come in, you're welcome. That's
You're
like
so
my
nice,
thing.
though.
But I think it's a bit problematic. Actually, today, right, I was coming out of, you know, the Macca's, like, there's a Macca's, the one on the corner. Anyways, I was coming out onto the main road and I was in the wrong exit. I was trying to get out of the wrong place. It was where the cars were coming in.
Okay.
Yeah. And the first, I was like, oh shit, like, I didn't even think about that. And I was just like, oh, so I just kind of like moved to the side. The first car just went through. And then the second car, he points at like the no stopping sign.
It's the entry, yeah.
Well, there is actually no sign.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
There is no sign.
So he's pointing because he's pissed at you.
Yeah, he was like he pointed at the freaking no, he freaking pointed at the no stopping sign. And I was like, I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, no stopping. Of course you can't stop on the road. But there is actually no entrance and exit sign. So, and then he goes and shakes his head at me. This is today.
Oh no.
And I was just a bit like pissed, to be honest. I was just like,
I hate that, yeah.
So I was going to ask you, in that situation, are you the type of person that puts your finger up? Like, do you say anything or do you just let it go?
If it was that situation, I would feel bad because, like you said, that's meant to be the entry. So then I'd be like, sorry. Like,
but I would feel
bad.
I don't actually know. What if you don't know if it's the entry?
But I think people are just also really aggressive these days.
Yeah.
In Sydney. And that's annoying. But at least he didn't beep you. Some people are crazy. Some people really rage.
I'd rather a little beep over a freaking shake of the head.
But I also shake at people too. Depending on what.
Yeah.
Mainly at other aggressive people. I think recently someone cut in so hard that it freaked me out. Like, it freaked me out. I had to, like, have a break. Like, turn into a side street because I was like, that was so scary.
Did you honk?
No. I was just like, oh, scared.
Did you think I should have honked?
Yes. I don't know. It was just like too late. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I hate driving sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember I had to like teach myself to honk.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I reckon for the first 5 years.
Honking, actually.
I had to make a conscious effort.
I should honk for small stuff.
You should have honked.
Yeah, I should
then.
have honked.
So they know.
Okay, I need to honk.
You need to honk.
And you need to let people in
less,
like just half, you know? Like, some people don't deserve to be let in all the time, you know? Like, it depends how far. And then people don't let me in. Fuck. Like, right? Do you always get let in?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then in public, like in a line situation, you need to practice. No questions.
You know what? You know how you were like, the lines back there?
Yeah, like use your hands.
I don't even have that language in my vocabulary.
No, you've never said that.
I don't
ever?
think I've ever said that.
I think I've been cut in all the time. People cut in all the time.
The lines back there.
The lines over here, over there.
The lines back there. It's over there.
Yeah, over just there. But yeah, actually,
that's such a good idea.
Sometimes the lines go crazy. So I was lining up for this ramen place in New York, and the line, there was a driveway, so no one was standing in the middle of the driveway, and the line continued after the driveway on the street, and people were genuinely confused, right? So they would try to line up behind the first half of the line, and everyone knew because everyone was lining up there for ages. So they're like, actually, it continues at the back over there. And it's even more like, whoa, there's so many people lining up for ramen. Right, so then it's like exciting. So people are like, oh shit, it must be good.
Yeah, right.
You know? Mm-hmm. So it's not always like a mean thing. Okay, but it's like, hey, dude, there's a really long line.
But if the line is long, I think it's very obvious. Like, oh, the line, it ends over there.
Yeah.
But in that shop, it was like 2 people and then 3 people in the line. The line's there. Like, it's harder to say that.
Yeah. I think some shops are not designed really well, or the people serving aren't aware enough, maybe.
Yeah.
And you know what's awkward is like, say, you know, like when you're at the post office, you're not there a lot, but like when you're at the post office and they tell you, oh, go fill out that form and come back to me straight away. You don't need to line up again.
Yes.
I always feel so awkward. I'm like, I try to be really obvious. Like I have this slip, like I was here before, but you know, you get looks like people are like, oh, are you cutting in? But you're not.
That's
right?
such a classic. That's such a classic.
I'm not cutting in.
Office.
Like I was already there.
Yeah,
I just had to fill out something.
Yeah, yeah. But so you're feeling a little awkward. You're feeling the looks.
I feel the looks, but then I think people know because people generally know. Another awkward situation would be shoe store. You know when shoe
sizes?
store? Yeah, sizes, and they like disappear. So then they don't know who's next, or actually someone was serving me, and then blah, blah, blah. Like it's just chaos, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say I look quite young for my age, and I think you probably get that as well. And I'm not that tall.
I don't get that much.
Oh, that you look young for your age?
It depends who I'm talking to, but not that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot. Like every new job that I start, they're like, what, you're in your 30s? They get so surprised. Yeah.
I feel like you look really young. You have a young, nice girl look. I think you look like a nice person, nice little girl.
That's so nice.
But you're not too
I mean, actually,
little.
is it nice?
I don't know.
Because like, I think I talk young as well. And I act a bit young.
Yeah.
But I think I'm easy to, you know, cut in front of. Or, you know, I'm not tall and I don't have this like aura that I carry around with me or like anything like that. I'm just like, I feel like I'm easy to like just sort of, you know, forget about. Like,
oh no.
So I feel,
hope not.
Yeah. So I feel like I have to really, I don't know, like the shoe store thing. I feel like when you mentioned that, I felt something there. I was like,
really?
I swear there's been a time when no one served me and I just had to leave.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's because of the way I look or maybe it was just it could have just been that day. Maybe like everyone walked out. Yeah, it could have been like that too. But definitely I have felt times where I'm like forgotten or something. I don't know. Or like, it's kind of like that feeling like there's two Asians and then they can't remember who's who. And then mix the name up. Did you ever get that?
I've definitely gotten that
all the time. Like I get called Jenny or like Rachel or something, and I'm like, no, I'm Julia.
Yeah, I need to speak up more as well sometimes, but it depends on the situation.
Yeah,
because there's definitely things that I let slide and I get angry after.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh, that bitch, like, you know, oh, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they, you know, I let them through. I should have honked or something like that.
Okay, so that's more in public. I definitely know I want to work on that, being able to speak up more. Maybe, what about like in the workplace or with your family or your friends? Are there times where you felt like, oh, I should have spoken up, but you just held your tongue and you're just like, oh, I should have or I could have or I wished I had?
I feel like at work situations, sometimes I generally speak up, but if everyone's talking, then I'll just wait, unless there's something I really need to say. Family is like, I probably speak up too much. I'm like the bitch in my family. I'm like the mean, bitchy older sister in my family, and I'm just like telling everyone off, which is really bad. Like I think my family is so sick of me. Like when I see them, I'm just like, why are you putting this here? Why is this here? Like, what are you doing with this? Why are you doing this like this? Like, why is this in the fridge? Or I don't know. I'm really bossy at home, which isn't a good thing.
Is that probably where you're the most, I don't know, like
with my
assertive?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I really like want them to listen to me.
Yeah, and
sometimes they do listen to me. But yeah, I think that's maybe where I get it from, because I'm just like, I'll just say it.
Yeah.
And which is kind of bad because I should be respecting my elders and I need to consciously work on that. But maybe it's something internal that, I don't know, I have this anger that I need to work on, which I've already told you, which is separate to this, but personally, I need to work on my relationship with my family and like just taking it out on them.
Yeah.
I think that's not good.
That makes me, I don't know, that makes me think how little I speak up. I don't even really speak up at home.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's because you're a really good girl at home. You're obedient.
I'm an obedient
you
daughter.
Shut up and you keep things in.
Yeah.
Unless it's really bad, then you'll speak up. Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I think things tick me off really, which is bad. But like things can like tick me off and I'll be like, that's shit. Like I'll just say it with my family anyway. But when it comes to friends, I kind of just roll with my friends. I think I take the back seat with my friends because I feel like I don't need to carry that responsibility almost. Like I feel with my family, I feel a bit like I'm the oldest, I'm responsible for stuff. But then when I'm with my friends, I can chill, like I can relax and they can order the food.
Yeah.
I don't want to choose. Like I really don't want to choose. Like, I don't want to make that decision because I'm tired. You know, like
from your family.
I'm tired. Like, please choose for me.
Yeah, I've been doing all the decision making back at home.
Oh, it's so good. Just I eat everything. Like I really eat everything. So please just do it.
Yeah.
And I think same thing with Sim. I think sometimes he sees some streaks in me and he's like, dude, I'm not like I'm not your I'm not your parents. Like I'm not your brother. You can't talk to me like that. I feel so bad.
Do you have an example?
Like, oh, you're right. Shit, sorry. And then I'm like, oh, I'm such a bad person. But then it's also good because he handles a lot of. He'll take charge in like choosing places and stuff. But I don't know. Sometimes I need to work on it for sure. I can be a bitch.
I can actually see not the bitch side, but I can see. Like, you're definitely more chill with your friends and even with me. But when I hear you talk about, like, your family, it does sound like you're more like, no, it has to be like this or it has to be like this. It's almost like two different people.
Yeah. It's weird because I feel, like, very assertive and I do speak up probably too much. And then when it comes to maybe work or friends and relationships, I, like, maybe try to shut up a bit more. Unless something is really pissing me off, then I'll definitely just say it.
Yeah.
Unless it's something I don't want to hurt my friend, then I'll just keep it in for as long as I can.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How about you?
So interesting.
With work? How about you with work and family and stuff?
I feel like at work, if I'm feeling safe, I'm pretty good at speaking up. I'll be like, oh, I don't get these goals. I'll tell the boss. I'll be like, nah, I don't see it. I don't see this happening. I'll be very honest about it and say what I feel or think. But if I don't feel safe, I would just stay quiet. And if no one's there to listen or open to listen to me, I don't even bother. I'm like, I don't bother speaking up here because I don't think no one's going to listen here anyway. So it really depends.
Is it because you've tried and no one listens? Or do you just think no one listens?
It's almost like
you haven't even tried.
I don't know if I've tried. It's just like I'm not vibing. I'm like, no, I don't think there's any point here. I don't want to put my energy here.
When I think about work and situations, maybe I need to be more specific, or even any situation, I feel like if you don't speak up, but something is really bothering you and it's some ongoing thing, like not in public, like not lining up, but something like, say, you're working with someone or you're friends with someone or you're in a relationship with someone, and if you don't speak up and something's really bothering you, it's just you have to speak up eventually. You have to think of a way to speak up, or else you're just gonna turn into resentment and unhappiness and into this angry ball, and then one day you'll explode, which is not good, right? So you have to like think of a way to communicate it. Maybe you need to like reflect and chill out a bit and be like, oh, like try to not react in anger. Sometimes that's what I need to do more. Like, how do I communicate this without, is it just me thinking crazy, or is it actually something valid? Right.
I think whatever you're feeling, it's always valid, which is something that I'm really trying to teach myself at the moment.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I realized like any feelings that I had, I would try and be like, nah. Let's be logical. I would dismiss my feelings. But now I'm training myself to be like, no, your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
If you're frustrated here, they're valid. You're, frustrated for a reason.
Yeah.
I think with speaking up, it's tricky because you pick your battles. If it's, you pick your battles, you can't fight every battle.
True.
So if you're not safe for whatever reason, I think everyone feels unsafe at some point, then sometimes it's not good to speak up. I don't know. If you might actually need some help.
Yeah, like maybe share that situation, like seek advice from a friend or someone else before,
or tell
to
someone
see how you should deal with that situation, because maybe it can be dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe we need to get back to real examples because it's a bit vague.
Yeah, being very vague.
Yeah.
But I do think like the safety thing, like that's something I would think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I am getting better at speaking up with my family. I'll give you an example. Oh. One thing that annoyed me, I didn't even realize it made me so upset, is at the dinner table. So I'm Korean for our listeners who didn't know, and Roxy is Chinese. At the dinner table, it's always like my parents, my Korean parents, they would have their conversation. And then if my brother's there, then they'll include him, right? Like the three of them know.
This is such a weird story. Yeah, keep going.
The three of them know.
You're there,
people.
Yeah.
I'm there. Yeah. But it's always been like that. Even in the car, I have memories like they would be having their own conversation and I have no idea what they're talking about. I was always like they never had conversations with me. I think because I'm like the baby or something.
How many years younger than your brother are you?
6.
It's not too huge.
Yeah. So this year, I've actually said to them, this is like last month, I said, hey, Mum, Dad, I have something to say. Me speaking up, right? Yeah. I have something to say. I felt like confident. I felt safe to say it. Okay, so let's make a rule whenever we're having dinner together as a family. Let's make it a rule that we only talk about things that we all know. We all know what we're talking about. It's like we don't get this opportunity to like have dinner like this all the time. Let's do that. And then they were like, oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. And ever since then,
so nice.
The dinners have been so nice. Whereas before that, sometimes I would like watch YouTube videos and they won't even care if I watch YouTube because like they're having their own conversation. But I thought I voiced my needs and I said, hey, this is what I want. And it's actually been a bit of a game changer.
Isn't it? It's pretty crazy that it sounds like they literally just didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah, they didn't know.
They just always were doing that and didn't think of it. So it's really nice that they're like, oh, yeah, sure. Well, your daughter wants to speak to you. They're probably like, oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, and I know it sounds quite simple, like because the way I told the story, it's simple. But for me, it was actually like I had to think about how I was going to say that because I was feeling something and I was feeling frustrated and I was feeling excluded or I was feeling unhappy, but I didn't know what to do about it. And I thought, actually, how about I just tell them what I want and let's see where it goes. And it's been really good.
I think that's really that's a really healthy way to do it because I feel like with my family, I think I just project rather than say what I actually want almost because I feel like they wouldn't understand or they won't listen. So then I'm just frustrated all the time because I think that they won't understand. But then actually if I said it in a way that you did, then maybe I will get what I want. But then, I need to think about what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes I think that's the hardest part. You don't know what you want.
Yeah.
It's like you're pissed and you're unhappy, but you don't really know what you want and how to voice that. So, I don't know, with speaking up, if it's little things like, Dad, you should wear a jacket, little things like that, easy. Yeah. But if it's something like associated with, I don't know, your childhood, like trauma or something like that, it gets a bit uncomfortable and you feel a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, need to like think deeper.
Yeah.
Reflect deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked when you said, our feelings are valid. I think, some things it's like you could just have not said it. And is that big of a deal, or do you still want to share it anyway because it did bother you, even though it doesn't make sense? But yeah, I don't know. I need to work on stuff, obviously.
I think we all do. Speaking up is not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And certain things are easy for some people and more difficult for others. Like for me, speaking up in public is like way more difficult than it is for you, obviously, after talking today.
Only sometimes. Like if something really bothers me, then I'll say something.
What about if you find like a piece of hair in your food? Do you say something or do you just let it go?
If it's really bad, yeah, I'll say something.
If it's like just one Asian hair, like one black hair.
Shit, I hope, and as long as it's really not mine, like it's really not my own hair, then if I'm confident that it's not my own hair, then maybe, yeah, I'll probably tell them. But not too rudely, I hope. Sometimes I pick it out and not do anything.
Like for me, I think 10 out of 10 times, I'll just take the hair out and I'll just eat it.
I probably do that like 8 out of 10 times.
Okay, yeah.
Depends how bad it is.
I don't know. I'm just, maybe because I'm not too grossed out.
Yeah, true.
If it's a hair, I'm just like, oh, it got, killed off. The bacteria got killed off in the heat anyway. Whereas I know it really bothers some people. They'll get disgusted and they'll be like, excuse me.
No. I wouldn't do it like that.
Yeah.
No. Unless it's really gross.
Like a pube.
No. Oh, gross.
Okay, if it's a pube, I would. I think we covered a lot of areas on that topic.
So yeah, tell us any funny speaking up stories if you have any, or any other examples of how to speak up a bit more, either in public or with family and friends.
Yeah, something that was quite interesting that I wanted to quickly mention is that on our Instagram, we always ask questions on there, and we asked, "Are you good at speaking up?" as a poll, and 86% of our our listeners, or
people that answered.
Oh yeah, people who answered said no. Isn't that so interesting?
Yeah,
86%.
I think if something has to really bother you a lot to speak up, though, right?
Or that it's so
scary,
uncomfortable and scary.
It's scary. Yeah, imagine if you speak up and someone, I guess it is scary to speak up and someone, like, I don't know, start a fight with you or something. Sometimes it's just easier to let them.
Yeah. I think you got to gauge, like, how safe am I here?
Time for soups.
What soup do you want to have?
Any? What do you have?
I have
do you want to have your one?
된장찌개, the soybean.
Oh, your favorite
based,
one.
Yeah.
I have a duck soup from Sim's dad.
I think we mentioned this soup in episode 1 when we were talking about our favorite Asian soup.
Yes.
And the soup that I picked was 된장찌개, which is Korean soybean paste stew. 된장찌개. It's got zucchini, mushrooms, tofu, and it's quite thick. I've got it in a little, a flask.
I need one of these flasks.
They're so good for Asian soup.
Yeah. I need one of these flasks, and my family keeps, like, we don't have this kind of flask where it's really airtight. Like, I don't know. Actually, they do, but I need to steal it from their home.
Yeah, no, it's the best.
Okay. Wait, am I trying first?
Yeah, go. So normally you would have it with rice, but today I just brought the soup.
It's so yummy. It's like got it's spicy.
Is it spicy?
Yeah, it's a little bit spicy.
My mum made it and it smelled really good. I actually haven't tasted
Thanks,
it.
Auntie. Your mum's good at this. Maybe that's why you love it so much, because it's like your mum's so good at it.
It's pretty easy to make. Let us know if you guys want a recipe. But 된장찌개 is just so comforting. It's the best. It's like good for you. It's got the probiotics because the 된장, which is the soybean paste, it's fermented. and you got the vegetables like the zucchini, and when there's potato in there, it's really, really good. So comforting. And this with just rice is like a perfect breakfast for me.
Breakfast?
Yeah.
Do people usually have it for breakfast though?
It's more for dinner.
But you like it for breakfast?
I can have it for breakfast. I think other people have it for breakfast. It actually comes quite commonly with K-barbecue as well. If you have meat, you can, they normally
it's a
give
nice balance.
this to you for free.
Yep.
Yeah.
Delicious. Sorry, thank you to your mum for that. That was so yummy. Well, thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our mini episode around speaking up, and maybe learned some ways or figured out, maybe just even think about, maybe I need to speak up more, or maybe there's different ways to speak up. But yeah, follow us on Instagram at Asian Soup Podcast. We're always asking random questions that people are answering that we share.
And please rate us on Spotify or Apple Podcast or on YouTube, wherever you're listening to us from. Give us a like, give us a 5-star rating, leave us a review.
Yeah,
that
comment,
always helps us a lot. Yeah, DM us. We love chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.